start some Brandywine tomato seeds today. Brandywine tomato is an heirloom which dates back to about 1885. It's a large beefsteak shaped fruit. They grow on upright potato shaped leaves, and they usually set 1 to 2 fruits per cluster and ripen fairly late, but it's worth the patience. It's a really nice tomato and I think you'll enjoy it. So this is the first video for this channel. I hope to do several more over the next coming weeks throughout the gardening season. Start seeds of different varieties. One of the next projects is to put a sprinkler system, a nicer sprinkler system in my small greenhouse. You see behind me the little misting heads here. I used these last year. Wasn't terribly happy with them, so I've got another sprinkler system coming that I'm going to be installing next weekend, and we'll do a video on that one. As I'll certainly will put links in the description for the different products that I use, any other tips that I might find along the way, and be sure to comment, let me know what you'd like to see. Let me know if you like the video. Please give me a thumbs up. It certainly helps the YouTube algorithm so that more people see my videos, and hopefully you can share this with your friends. Thanks. Brandywine seeds are started about 6 to 8 weeks before the last frost. We're in zone 7 here. Our last frost is right around the 1st of April, usually around April the 5th. And so today's February the 15th. We're roughly about 6 weeks out. So I'm going to get a batch of seeds going here, so we're ready for the garden in April. The seeds are started in a seed starting mixture. And this is a seed starting mixture that I've used for the last couple of years. It's just about 20% peat moss, about 50% organic composted manure, and about another 30% of sand, just a general purpose sand. Mix it together well, and I fill my seed trays. To make our 1/4 inch deep hole, use a stick or a pencil. I've got a pencil here. Just kind of press a little hole in the seed starting mix. I usually do 1 seed per cell. Once you get your trays prepared, just simply drop a seed into each hole. When starting in small cells like this is a 72 cell tray, it's best to transfer them to a larger container to give them a little more growing room before transplanting out to the garden. So I'll give these a few weeks, and then we'll move them into a larger, about a 3-inch cup, to continue growing out for a little bit before they're ready to transplant to the garden. Seedlings don't need much fertilizer. You can feed them a little bit when they're about 3 or 4 weeks old using a little starter solution, which is sort of a half-strength fertilizer. Use whatever you like. Just kind of use it according to the manufacturer's directions, but go about half-strength at first. Okay, now that we have the seed in all of our cells, we just simply push the mix with our fingers to close the holes, and then we're going to water it in. seeds are watered in. We need to keep the soil fairly warm. It needs to be 70 to 75 degrees to encourage germination. You should start seeing some seedlings come up in about 7 to 14 days, typically about 7 days for tomatoes. That's been my experience. I have mine here in my little small greenhouse. I do keep a heater in here because we do still have cold nights at this point, and it does get quite warm during the day. Before you plant these out in the garden, after the seedlings have grown to the point that they're ready, when you've passed your last frost date, you will need to harden them off a little bit before going to the garden to get them acclimated. So in a greenhouse setting like this, we'll start opening some doors and some vents. When I'm planting the seeds in our trays here, I do like to use these little craft sticks, little popsicle sticks, to label my rows. Sometimes I'll plant the whole tray with one variety, but when I don't, I certainly need to know what's in each row. On the back side of them, I'll put the date that I put the seed in and got started, just to give myself a reference. As the seedlings get a little older, a little larger, I'll transplant them to these cups to finish growing out before they go to the garden. It's just a simple plastic cup. You can find these, I think this is a 12-ounce cup. You can find these at Walmart or on Amazon. You just drill a few holes in the bottom with a cordless drill and give it some drainage. And I'll let them grow out there. And I also sell these. As we get closer to the 1st of April, I'll advertise these locally. And I typically can sell seedlings, plant garden starts, for about $3 per cup. Did this last year, and I sold a few hundred plants. Certainly enough to cover the cost of the garden and the materials that I use to grow for myself and my family. It's just sort of fun meeting people and seeing these little plants get started.